We're now going to move on to our final question strategy lesson, which is on matching information to paragraphs. I'll say from the start that this question type often gets confused with matching headings to paragraphs, but there are some subtle differences that you should know. Let's take a look at the basics of this question type. So, as you may be able to guess, in this question you will need to match statements to paragraphs. The statement will relate only to a very short piece of the paragraph. It could be a sentence or a short key phrase. These statements could be descriptions, facts, explanations, or anything else you can think of. The statements will simply relate to a short part of the paragraph. Regardless of what the statement is, the skill remains very much the same, simply matching the statement to the paragraph. Let's take a look at an example of this question type. So from the instructions, sample passage 7 has 8 paragraphs labelled A to H. You can see that the passage paragraphs will be labelled for you. Underneath the instructions are our 6 question or statements that need to be matched with the short parts of the paragraph. Let's take a look at an easy example of one of these question types that you can complete. I've continued on from the passage that I used in the last lesson. Let's take a quick read through the 2 paragraphs together. On the 13th of May 1996, top researchers in global education met to discuss key characteristics in children who achieve well in schools. Elshout, a famous researcher from Norway, suggested that help given from a close family network was the biggest factor in gifted children's progress. However, not all attendees agreed with Elshout. On further discussion, many academics argued that feedback and discussions about progress played the largest role in academic progression. Many Western researchers also argued the quality of feedback played a pivotal role. So there we have our 2 paragraphs, and in each paragraph there are at least 2 or 3 pieces of key information. I'm now going to show you 2 statements that I would like you to link into the paragraphs. Let's take a look at the statements now. So A, how well a teacher shares goals and targets with a student is highly important. And B, a summit was held to discuss academic excellence. I would like you to match these statements with the paragraph and the part of the paragraph that is paired with it. I'll give you some time to do this now. Okay, if you need some more time, please pause the video. I'll now show you which paragraph and the part of the paragraph that links to the statements. So here are our answers. Statement A is paired with paragraph 2, specifically the last sentence, but your answer would be A and paragraph 2. B, or statement B, links with paragraph 1, specifically the first sentence of paragraph 1. In your IELTS reading test, you will of course have more statements and a larger passage to use. Let's take a quick run through the strategy for matching information to passage questions. Identify the question type. Read the statements first and underline key phrases. At this point, I think it's a great idea to quickly skim read through the whole passage, but don't spend too much time doing this. Look for synonyms of the key phrases that you underlined in your statement. Match the statements against the passage, or specifically, the lettered paragraphs. That brings us to the end of our final lesson on question strategies. If you've got any questions, do remember to drop me a message.